6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We're getting ready for the Kings and the Clippers. We're just outside the Golden One. We're at Tom's Watch Bar celebrating Kyle Draper's birthday. We got a special guest, Drapes. Our next guest, he was an outstanding NBA player, outstanding college player, and he played briefly for the Kings 2002-2003 season. During that season, he would come on this station in the mornings with us once a week.
Okay.
And now he's a great analyst for the Clippers, NBA analyst, college basketball analyst. I'm guessing probably that's due to the fact that he used to come on with us once a week. That's,
some training, right? That was
guessing.
Okay.
Let's find out from the great Jim Jackson. How are you, Jim?
You know what? I owe it all to this radio station. I mean, that's where I kind of got my start. And Kyle, happy 25th birthday.
That's nice.
That's how you do it, Jim, right? You cut it in half, right? Yeah, when you get to this age, you cut it in half.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm with you, brother. Trust me, I know. Hey, welcome to the crew. Welcome to the 50-year-old crew. There you go.
Hey, man, I don't feel a day over 49 right now, man. I'm telling you.
Jim, wanted to ask you about Coach Doug Christie. What was it like playing against and playing with and practicing against Doug Christie?
Well, first, Doug and I have a unique, relationship from this perspective is that we both were drafted in 92 and we have something in common. We both held out that year. You remember, Doug got drafted by Seattle, I believe it was, and eventually got to the Lakers. And people don't know that I had the longest holdout, but Doug, that's how he eventually got to the Lakers, if I'm correct. But then playing against Doug, I mean, it was tough because Doug was so good. He was so athletic, long, could guard multiple positions. Didn't take a lot. The chances he took were smart chances, keeping the ball in front, pesky defender, would get on your nerves sometimes. But when I got a chance to really play with him, along with the other guys, Chris and Vlade and Ito and Peja and the whole crew, Mike, I just saw Mike Bibby today. Man, just getting to know Doug was phenomenal. We stayed in touch even after I left, and then I know he was doing the radio and the TV and now the coach. So I couldn't be more proud of what he's been able to accomplish in his career. And hopefully that continues. I don't know what the mindset is of ownership here in Sacramento as his place, as the next coach. But I was happy to see that he got a chance to kind of move one seat over and kind of rally the troops.
Hey, Jim, I'm doing a pregame show with Mike Bibby tonight, and one of the things we're going to talk about is just, those early 2000s Kings teams and where those guys are now. C-Web has his book out. Mike is a coach at Sac State now. You got Doug here, Bobby Jackson, yourself. A lot of you guys are doing some great things. What was the culture like when you walked into Sacramento with that group?
I mean, honestly, man, it was a breath of fresh air because, it's a lot of challenges that go on with the NBA, with a collective group of men that are, fighting for the same thing because you all have your different passions outside of basketball, but you also have your different goals within the game. And to have a team that was aligned goal-wise to be the best, to win, to support, to be friends on and off the court, because, you got families and a lot of times, spent with them on your off time. But the collective group we had, I mean, it was just amazing. We did I tell the story all the time that the love of the game came back really, truly when I was with this group here, all the way to Keon Clark, to Scott Pollard, I know was dealing with some health issues with Vlade, Mateen Cleaves, Damon Jones, the whole crew. I mean, we had so much fun together. And shout out to Rick Adelman, who's one of my favorite coaches to play for, that I played for, because he was the linchpin that kind of kept everything together. So I'd say it was a special group. It hurt deep that I wasn't brought back, but it's a memory in the time period of my life that I always value.
Yeah, Jim Jackson with us, and we're going down memory lane a little bit with Jim. I'll tell you how far back we go with him, and I don't expect he'd remember this, but there was a new song out at the time when he was on our show, and Phantom used to sing it, and Jim would go, "You're not doing it right. It was In the Club by Fitty." And Jim would go, "Nah, you guys aren't doing that right." So that's
But your diction was a little bit off, a little bit off on how you're supposed to say it. You wanted to over enunciate duh. No, you got to flow with it, man. You got to flow with it.
Yes, we appreciated the lessons. What do you make, Jim? You look at this roster, all the changes the Kings have been through. What do you make of where the Kings are roster-wise right now after this tumultuous season?
It's tough because the core pieces are there, albeit that DeRozan is a little bit older. I think Zach LaVine with Demonis and DeMar, make a great threesome combination. Love to see Keegan Murray develop a little bit more. Love Devin Carter because I got a chance to play with his father, Anthony, in Miami, but also cover him when he was at Providence. The question is, too, what happens with Malik Monk, after this year. I know he's signed under contract, but to improve the team, he may be a valuable asset to do that. But there's no question that you have talent. It's just a matter of who's the linchpin to kind of bring everything together, especially when you have a midseason trade and you bring in some new faces. It's a little bit different, from that perspective.
Hey, Jim.
Who's talking in the background? I can hear somebody.
Nah, that's it. Might be the music they got playing. We're in a local bar here.
Talking.
Oh,
Okay.
shoot. We got somebody new on the board here, too, Jim. This dude, he's more worried about his girlfriend's birthday this weekend and actually producing the show. So it could be that.
Listen. You know how that stuff goes, man. If you don't get that birthday right, man, it could be this is bad. When do you come back after that one? We think the show gonna be like that.
That's true. Hey, man, let me ask you about Norman Powell, man. I'm worried, man. I mean, you guys got so much talent on this Clippers team, but looking at his numbers since he's come back from injury here, only averaging about 15.4 points per game. How is he coming back, and how is he adjusted playing with Kawhi in the lineup also?
Well, first of all, Norman, from the beginning of this season when Paul George left, a lot of the commentary was that, I think we were picked maybe 9th in the West or whatever it may be, and that you're losing, a marquee player, really don't have anybody to kind of take that mantle and run with it. And I think Norm took that personal from this perspective. He wanted to prove that he, being a full-time starter, he could really contribute and produce at a high level. And he started out hot. But then the commentary was like, well, it's a hot start, but can he keep it going? And he did that all year. I mean, especially with Kawhi being out, he was the anchor offensively a lot of games when you needed a big shot, a big free throw, a big play made. And he wanted to have that, despite having success in Toronto, 18-plus points per game scorer, it still wasn't that belief that he could be a guy that could help carry a team. And he's really done that now. Like, not just Norman, but everybody's role shifted when Kawhi came back because he's that kind of player. Whether it was Zoo, whether it was James, whether it was Norm, it didn't matter. Everybody shifted because, Kawhi demands so much attention and he draws so much gravity and plays are different. So I think Norm going with the injury, that's tough, especially late in the season. But these next couple of games will allow him to kind of get back in rhythm, to get back to where he's at because he knows where his shots are coming at now, especially with Kawhi on the floor. And I think that's very important. And he's going to get his reps. He's going to get his shot. So I don't worry about that too much. I love to see the next 2 games with him really kind of get back in his rhythm, especially that we're, tough playoff race right now and then heading into the playoff.
Hey, Draper, it's your birthday.
Huh? Jim, you see what I got to deal with over here, man? You see what I got to put up with, man?
Hey, man, it's your birthday, bro. I mean, that's half a century, bro.
That's true. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, Jim. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Bogey. He was a fan favorite here. And I know that the Clippers have a lot of guys that are contributing a lot more than him, but how important has he been to what the Clippers have gotten done so far this year?
Well, he gives you another ball handler and the playmaker, but in particular on that second unit. But he provides you with court spacing and shooting. And I know one thing Bogey talked about when he came here was that he wanted to show that he could do more than just shoot the ball. Rebound, play defense, be a playmaker. So that just adds so much value because, when you get into playoffs, your rotations tend to shrink a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that second unit is so important to either maintaining the lead that your starting five has gotten, kind of keep you within shouting distance if you're behind, or increase the lead. And Bogey, again, you know how it is, man. You have these in-season trades, especially later in the season. It's tough to try to figure out where you fit in and where your shots are going to come from and how to play with a new group of guys. But I think he's done an outstanding job of allowing the game to work for him. And I think Ty Lue and the coaching staff have put him in a really good position where the ball is in his hand, so he's not off the ball, so he's always in rhythm. And they found out too, you guys know this, kind of where sweet spots are on the court and be able to put that into play, so to speak, within the offense without trying to go to him too much that affects the offense, but allows him to really fit in and have an impact.
All right, Jim, I know you travel with these guys. I know you're on the call. You see these guys, every night. Great regular season so far. But the questions are about, can they hold up in the postseason? Whether it's Kawhi's health, James Harden's performance, what's your level of confidence that the Clippers team we're seeing right now can do the same thing in the playoffs?
It's different because of the emergence of Ivica Zubac. His overall play, his ability now to be a post threat, to get the tough twos, but then to be able to make plays out of a double team, to make plays out of the short roll, that's a big difference. Because in the playoffs, the games tend to be a little more half court oriented. You're not running as much. The possessions become, heightened. And to be able to have a post player that you can go to that can not only score but can draw a double team and make plays out of it really enhances what you do offensively, okay? And I do believe, like with James, and it's, a topic of conversation that comes up all the time about maybe his lack of production sometimes in the postseason. Well, a lot of that, too, at the time when he had to carry a team, in particular in Houston, it may be well-warranted. But if you look at the makeup of the squad, what you're going to ask James to do is not the same. Because of Kawhi, because of Norm, because of Zoo. You're not going to ask him to have to carry the load. What James is going to be able to do more than anything is when you need him to score, he can score. But his playmaking ability is what I think is really going to take us over the top with regard to being a successful playoff team. And that burden to carry the load is not going to be as heavy. And I think you'll see a different James Harden. And you'll see a different Clippers team. Now, keep in mind, that everything is about matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Throw some of those regular season records out the window, because if the team you match up well against, then it is in your favor. But it could be a team that you're a better seed than, that potentially during the course of the season you really didn't fare well against. So that also comes into play when you're in the playoffs.
All right, Jim Jackson, you're the best. We appreciate your time very much. Thank you, and we'll see you this evening.
Yeah, see you in a little bit, JJ.
I'll see you guys. All right, brother. Man. Happy birthday, man.
All right,
Enjoy.
thank you. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Draper.
Please.
What? Hey, Draper.
That's like who remade Tracy Chapman Fast Car? That's like that version of it. Like, nah, we don't want that. Give me the original. Let me get 50 Cent to say it. You know? So.
He used to be involved with the Kings. He used to come out to games and things.
Who, 50 Cent?
Yeah,
he
just
still
a couple
is,
years
right?
ago.
Yeah, he still is.
Yeah, he is.
Is he?
It's cognac.
Yeah,
Branson.
Sire Spirits, Branson, cognac.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, he's got a few partnerships though around the league.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I almost told him, man, hire me up, brother. Let's go into business together.
Jim Jackson or 50 Cent?
50. Jim Jackson, my boy. I can't go in business with Double J.
No, you go back ways with Jim.
Yeah,
right?
we
Fox Sports.
Fox Sports
yeah,
1, FS1.
Yeah.
He was one of the first college and NBA analysts. You know, they were trying to do double duty.
Yep.
And literally, sometimes fellas, like when I was doing Sunday football, Fox on NFL on Fox is what I'm trying to say. While I'm doing NFL on Fox, Double J would come into the studio because it was so new over at Pico, and they would have him sit around sometime. Man, they had a bar that was in there. Me and Double J just be sitting in there literally for 2-3 hours, waiting around, doing nothing, man, enjoying life.
Just hanging.
Combination, yeah. A lot of stories from Double J.
Yeah, before Monty turned the team around, you know, Fitty used to do a lot of stuff with the Kings, and he was a perfect spokesman for them because at that time they were only good for 2 quarters. So Fitty Samuels, he was a perfect.
Excellent.
I want to ask you about Ja Morant last night. You see, he's putting away his guns.
He sent to Ja Morant.
Putting his guns away, and now he's got the grenades.
Yeah, but then he did something else, right?
I only saw the grenades.
Now he's doing the cover in the head.
That's part of it.
Oh, all right.
It's like the grenade, and then...
Oh, and then that's what that is?
Yes. Now, he said, I'm doing that until it's a problem. He also told somebody from Memphis that it's not a grenade. Those are my words. And I'm covering my ears.
That's what it. Yeah,
I'm
that's
covering
the part
my ears.
That's right. Yeah.
All the nonsense and talk around it.
I just don't get it with this guy. I don't get it. Why is he, fighting back against the system? Like, dude, you're being paid multi millions. Life should be good. Like, why do you need this, kind of attention? Like, just play basketball. And there's a million other celebrations he could do. It's almost like he's a kid where you say, don't do that, and the kid's going to do it.
Right.
Like, it's like,
yeah.
No, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do what he's gone a little too far. And we got to get Vincent Goodwill on this subject. Jay shaking his dog. I'll get Vincent Goodwill, big fella. I'll get him. He just wrote a scathing column, not dissing, but, calling out Ja Morant and saying, come on, man, you got to grow up.
Let me see, man. I'm going to just.
Dog, I will call Vincent Goodwill right now.
Listen, mate, you see blue, nothing in between.
You ain't throw my name out there, kid.
What?
Oh, never mind. All right, listen. You did?
I don't. Jay, I understand. Like Kenny Smith said last night, he said, how about just no celebrations with anything that have to do with people dying? I get that,
right.
But I don't mind the grenades. It's like he's just being silly. It's not. We don't need to make a big deal of it. I'm okay with it. And then if the league, like you say, the league makes it into a thing, it's going to blow up, into something bigger. He's going to respond to that. Just like it's stupid, it's silly, just let it expire.
But it's not about the act. It's about who's doing the act. If Steph Curry did the grenade, nobody would be. But because of Ja's history, it's like, dude ain't never touched no grenade. Why
exactly. So he doesn't have a history with grenades.
Why is he acting? Why is he being a poser? As 50 Cent would say, why is he being a wankster? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. That's the thing that I don't understand about Ja, man. It just count your millions, play ball, be one of the face of the league, instead of just it's like he's doing this despite Commissioner Madam Silver.
He got a little persecution complex.
Yeah,
going.
I don't know.
Yeah. So just let it.
Just let it die.
By the way, you guys have seen 50 Cent's infamous first pitch, right? I think it was.
Oh yeah.
Not good.
Not much of an athlete.
Right.
Not
a pitcher anyway.
Not a pitcher anyway.
Yeah. So I'm all right with the job thing, and I hope it doesn't get blown up into something bigger. I know their coach is upset too because they just played Minnesota. They got to play Denver tonight.
Who's their coach?
Tomas Isalo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they got a tough schedule.
Yeah.
And then who they wrap up with? Dallas. They wrap up with on Sunday, right? I believe it's Dallas on Sunday. And so Memphis, and they're fighting for a top 6 spot.
Right.
And they're going to have to play to the bitter end, man. It's a great time to be an NBA fan, but I'm nervous, man. Like all these teams, only thing settled is top 2, 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers could be in a play-in when it's all said and done, which would be crazy. And so we'll see. We'll see.
So I think I'm the only one in the zip code that's like, yes, bring on the Warriors. I want to see.
You really want to get into that right now?
I think it would be a lot of fun.
You're right. It would be fun. and maybe we could talk about it after the break here.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna set you straight. It would be fun if you win.
Right.
I'm worried about winning, big fella.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough matchup. Jimmy Butler has changed things. Who's guarding Steph Curry? We know he can go off for 50 in a playoff game against us.
I don't know that there's any easy matchups. I know you could say there's easier ones, but there's no easy matchups after you, assuming you get through Dallas.
That's a good topic, too. Who are you more afraid of? Steph Curry, Ant Edwards, John Morant, like Jokic, about possible matchups if you beat Dallas. Which player fears you the most?
Yes, we're back with that and more here. It's the Drive Guys. Jerry Reynolds to come today. Anthony Slater joining us today. And we hope you join us at Tom's Watch Bar celebrating the day after Kyle Draper's birthday. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports. We'll be right back.
All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake